Good day. Let us discuss planning for effective teaching and learning. By the end of this discussion, we will learn how to write a learning plan and construct teaching and learning processes that are developmentally sequenced and aligned with curricular objectives and learning competencies. On this topic, we will explore the basic parts of lesson plan or a learning plan. We will learn how to write learning objectives, determine learning evidences, and write and construct performance checks and tasks. Let us proceed with formulating learning objectives. May tinatawag tayo ditong cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. Sa cognitive domain, si Bloom's ang nag-introduce ng taxonomy na to. It so happened that from 1956 na noun yung gamit, pinalitan siya ni Anderson in 2001 na maging verb at progressive siya. For Anderson, it's an ongoing process no? Kahit tayo tapos na sa pag-aaral natin bilang teacher, student, nandun pa rin, ongoing pa rin yung remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, and then may switch or swap ng synthesizing at yun yung pinakataas. While yung evaluating ay nasa second the highest. No? When it comes to remembering, kapag nakita natin itong mga verbs na ito, we try to recall facts and basic concepts. We try to solicit relevant knowledge from long-term memory. Kapag ang ating mga noun o mga verbs ay copy, define, listen, identify, it means na yung nakalagay sa learning objective na yon ay we should recall facts or basic concepts na relevant sa knowledge ng mga learners. Okay? So pag nakakita tayo ng ganyang verb na under remembering, ang gagawin natin ay i-recall, ask them, no? Convergent or divergent questions, no? Kapag sinabi nating understand, no? Understanding, kapag nakita natin sa learning objectives ay annotate, tweet, associate, tag, summarize, and so forth, no? We will require or encourage our learners to explain ideas and concepts, no? One or more forms of explanation will do. At kapag dating sa applying, kapag nakita natin yung verb doon sa learn objectives na nakalagay articulate, choose, determine, judge, examine, interview, it means that we should ask our learners to use information in new situation to answer questions or even solve problems. We use information skill in a new situation. Yun yung applying, no? At pag dumating naman sa analyzing, no, or analyze, at nakita natin doon yung calculate, mind map, organize, advertise, deduce, distinguish, question, structure, then we are asking, we should ask our learners to draw connections among different ideas, identify the relationship, the causes, determine how the parts relate to one another. Sa evaluating naman or evaluate, kapag nakita natin yung argue, validate, test, defend, detect, experiment, grade, hypothesize, and so forth, post, reflect, review, no? We should ask our learners to justify stand or position. Maaari magkaroon ng debate, no? Speech, no? Public speaking, to make judgments based on criteria and standards. And when we say creating, at pag nakita natin dito, build, collaborate, devise, write, program, simulate, role play, more on psychomotor. We ask our learners to produce something new, no? Or original work or reorganize elements into a new pattern or structure. So yan yung kay Bloom's taxonomy or RBT. Kapag nakita natin itong mga verbs na ito, it means cognitive yung ine-exercise natin sa learners. No? It means cognitive dapat yung mag-change yung process of knowing particular experiences. No? Yun yung tinatahak ng cognitive. At ang pag nakita natin ay copying, okay, that is part of remembering lower lots. No? Pero pag nakita natin ay testing, as well as especially program, role play, facilitate, lead, no? Okay, HATS yun. Higher order thinking skills. Ang tinatak natin usually, ang mas maganda ay itong HATS, no? HATS. Let's proceed with affective domain. It is a model that describes how individuals process or internalize learning objectives in an affective or emotional level. Natutunan ni learner na hindi maganda yung pagkakalat or maraming basura sa paligid, hindi pagpatay ng electric fan kapag walang tao sa isang classroom or bahay or kwarto. It stays only in the mind. Pero pag higher degree, dinevelop natin or change natin yung affective domain ng learners by empathizing or expressing one's concern using value theory, no? Yung kanyang kakayahan na kumilos, no? Yung pakiramdam, yung capacity, no? Yung tendency niya na mag-act. Magiging successful yung ating learning sa ating bata or teaching natin sa bata or mag-aaral kung di lang natin siya na proseso sa cognitive. It remains there, pero kailangan nating i-develop yung emotional level. No? Para magtuloy-tuloy siya to act it out, to materialize that particular change, to participate. Pero bago siya kumilos, ng motor skills, no, kailangan madaanan natin yung affective side, yung emotional level. No? And according to Quattle's taxonomy sa affective, lowest level is receiving. We just willing to participate, willing to aware, no? Willing to be aware, pay attention, and open to experience. Okay, we are in political talk. Bakit ko iboboto si ganito, no? So we are willing to hear the topic, no, that is receiving. Kapag nasa responding na, we are willing to participate, to respond. Nandun na yung tendency. Umaakit na, no? Kung dati ay we are receiving or the information, the knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Ngayon, nandito na yung urge, yung impulse na unti-unting to participate, no? And in valuing, no, we choose to behave in a certain way. Gagawin na, no? Or hindi gagawin. Umaakit na. And in organizing, we become systematic. How we will do this particular act. How will I express my sympathy in this social issue or environmental concern or political issues against these two countries na may conflict. And once na nandun na sa characterizing, nandun na yung tendency to create his or her own internal belief or philosophy after guided by the Ten Commandments, Golden Rule, no? Eightfold Paths, yung mga yan, no? 5 teachings of Islam, the learner can create his own internal beliefs or philosophy. And it will lead to psychomotor domain. So kay Harrows, no, it is organized according to the degree of coordination including involuntary responses and learned capabilities. Kailangan yung skills, yung competencies ay na-demonstrate. Going back sa sinabi ko kanina, hindi lang siya dapat nag-stay sa cognition. Hindi lamang siya nag-stay sa emotion or values. Dapat siya ay nakikita. No? Na may rifle effect. Nakaka-epekto siya sa lipunan. Under reflexing, no, or reflex movement, reactions that are not learned, involuntary reaction. Ibig sabihin, part lamang ng sistema. No? Yung commitment ay bahagi ng kanyang normal living. No? Pag fundamental moving or movement, nandun na yung basic movements, nagre-respond na or nagre-respond na. May response na. No? Pag perceptual ability, andun na yung stimulus, nag-act na siya. Nakitang makalat yung paligid, dinadampot. Nakitang bukas ang electric fan, pinapatay, lalo pag walang tao, naglilinis ng whiteboard, no? Nandun na yung physical moving, no? Yung perceptual ability. Pagdating sa skilled movement, nandun na yung kung sa pagdating sa sports, no? Hindi na lamang ginagawa ni learner yung project dahil graded. Hindi na lamang siya maglalaro ng basketball dahil practical. Hindi na lamang siya magdodraw ng sketches ng bahay dahil graded, kundi gusto niya nang gawin. Skilled na. No? Ibig sabihin, it leads to their profession na gusto nilang kunin. Meaning, kahit hindi na required or graded ni teacher or ng school, ginagawa niya ng hobby or naging part na ng sistema niya. At kapag non-discursive communicating, no, bahagi na ng kanyang gestures, routine, facial expressions, yung feeling na nandoon na pakikiangkop sa particular na psychomotor domain, no? Sa bahagi ng kanyang sistema, total system, no? Language, gestures, facial expressions. Let's proceed with formulating and writing learning objectives, no? Under ng knowledge, ito yung usual na ginagamit natin. It increases the participants' ability to know a particular concept, proposition, or skills. No? Pag sinabi nating knowledge, more on to defining, no? Identifying, general knowledge, no? More on thinking, mental faculties. At pag sinabi nating skills, ito yung the power to change, improve the task can be performed. No? Meaning, demonstrative. At kapag sinabi nating attitude, is choose to act. Yung feelings na na-develop, yung value na na-enhance, or na-change, no? Or na-correct. Pag sinabi naman natin na ABCD, ito yung pangalawang concern sa pagsulat ng learning objectives. Under audience, dapat daw ang learning objectives ay may composition na ABCD. First is audience. We need to identify who will achieve or who will receive the objective. Typically, the learner, the participants, the netizens, the attendees, no? By the end of this discussion, the learner will be able to, yung learner, yung audience, no? Behavior, it identify what the learners are going to do differently. Action verb, no? Yung diniscuss natin na RBT, kay Harlow's, no? Or kay Quattro, no? Condition, it is the description of the situation of the participants on what is to be performed. No? And degree is yung criteria or basis, no? Yung to pass that particular learning objectives. Kapag na-meet ng learner, okay, successfully implemented ang learning objectives. Under SMART, no? May iba smarter yung ginagamit. When we say specific, we know how or what to or how to get start the subject, no? Andiyan yung learning objectives specific, ano yung gagawin natin sa particular content. Paano natin siya ituturo, no? And when we say measurable, we know how to measure the success. Ano yung mga indication ng success? Ano i-evaluate natin sa kanila? Paano natin i-evaluate? Ano gagamitin natin? Magpapaquiz tayo, recitation, or activity? Individual or group? When we say attainable or achievable, it's challenging the targets, no? Yung endpoint. And when we say relevant or result-oriented, aligned siya sa performance goal or performance standard, no? Sa performance standard, content standard, learning competencies. Kaya hindi maaari tayo magbigay ng task na hindi aligned doon, no? Time-bound, so may deadline to monitor the progress. Yun yung SMART, no? Let us analyze this scenario 1. We are asked to post a psychoeducational video clip, no, on Facebook discussing the importance of community engagement. So, ang nagawa nating learning objective dito ay by the end of this group activity, netizens will be able to learn effectively the importance of engagement in the community. Alin ditong audience? The recipient? That is netizen. Alin yung behavior, yung to be or verb na kailangan gawin? That is learn. No? Ano yung condition? Yung inaasahang makita, no? In order to identify, okay na at na-satisfy na yung LO or learning objectives effectively. At alin yung degree, no? Pagka na-meet ito, okay, pwede na siyang mag-proceed sa next content or learning objectives. That is the importance of engagement in the community. That is ABCD, no? Another example, scenario 2, we are asking our participants to identify the 81 Philippine provinces and capitals. Again, the audience ay, correct, participants. Alin yung behavior, yung verb? Identify, no? Condition, ano yung nire-require? Ganun kataas siya, all. Meaning, kapag hindi na-identify yung 81 provinces and capital, sa 90%, hindi makakapasa, no? Alin yung condition, no? Yung all. Alin yung degree with 90% accuracy. Ibig sabihin, kapag naka 90% accuracy ng mga learners, lahat, no? Ay maaari nang mag-proceed sa next learning objectives. Scenario 3, asking learners to create their own learning objectives. By the end of this group activity, learners will be able to write clear learning objectives using KSA guide, ABCD method, and SMART goals. Alin ang audience? Correct, that is learners. No? Alin yung behavior to do? Right. Alin condition? Clear. No? Alin yung degree? Using ABCD, KSA, and SMART goals. Okay? In determining learning evidences, may tatlo tayong ginagamit. No? Una ay direct evidences. To implement summative assessment sa ating discussion, pwede tayong gumamit ng direct evidences. It can offer insight into what degrees to learners have achieved or learned. No? To make judgments about the relative degree of learning or mastery that learners have achieved. So dito ay nakikita, kaya sa sinabing direct evidences, what you see is what you get. Anong nakuhang score? No? Ano yung na-present nila? No? Ano yung nasubmit nila sa atin? No? Meaning objective man siya or subjective. Ano yung na-present nila? No? Ano yung output? And when we say aptitude, ito yung cognitive potential. Achievement, ito yung skills. Yung diagnostic, ito yung weaknesses and strengths. Yung KSA, no? Before the instruction. So itong aptitude test, capstone, diagnostic, evaluation, examination, observation, papers, performances, portfolio quizzes, reflection writings, ito ay mga direct evidences. Kung ano yung scores nila, kung ano yung pinroject nila dyan, pinakita nila, sinabit nila, yan ay mga direct evidences kung na-achieve yung learning objectives. May mga indirect naman. Bakit mababa ang score ng isang estudyante? Ito yung natatagpuan natin sa indirect evidences. Maaaring di okay sa learner, environment, family problem, and others, no? Na hindi natin nakikita sa direct. Dahil dun ay sa direct ay quantitative. Sa indirect ay qualitative, no? It provides important insight about the context interpreting direct evidences. It gives a clear perspective or spotlight sa direct evidences. No? So dito, gagamitin natin alumni surveys, exit interviews, survey, no? External reviews, focus group discussions, feedback, internal surveys, learn surveys, and self-evaluation. Supporting evidences naman, it can help us to track learners' potentialities, needs, context, interest, and projection to success. Supporting evidences helps or help the direct evidences to identify the track of the success, whether siya ay nakatulong successfully or hindi. Ito yung after the direct evidences, ano yung pinatunguhan ng direct evidences? Marami bang nakagraduate? Nakapagtrabaho ba sila? Mataas ang passing rate ng board? No? Yung performance sa school na makikita sa school publication. No? So yun yung direct, indirect, and supporting evidences.